Hey, here we go. I'll cut that bit out. It's been so long since I've done this video. Doesn't matter. So here we are. I'm wearing a yellow t-shirt because it's an Easter special. So hopefully everybody's looking forward to this long weekend if you're off. And we're back with a Evercade video. So we're going to be talking about Dizzy games. So the Oliver Twins collection. Going to sharing some secrets and some Easter eggs that appears on the Evercade VS. Got a whole host of guests this evening as well. And we're going to be talking about OLL 22 video game convention which took place last weekend in Norfolk. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. I'm going to check out some of the chat as well. As Ryan said, I do like to start these a little bit later than 8. So let's have a look at the chat then. So who we got? Triangle Face says, hello, Tim. How you doing, my friend? Might see you in a moment. Dorbs, good evening. Greetings. Hello there. Happy birthday to you. Get well soon, my friend. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. Retro Gaming Revival. So I'm guessing that's Orion from the tag there. A very nice chap. I do have a trophy for you, my friend, because I actually did one for the Sensible Soccer because I thought there was going to be a challenge, but because my Windows in the games room is being repaired, I kind of had it all locked away. So send me your address either by DM and I'll send you that trophy, or we'll save it for the next one because I'll probably end up taking it back because when I lost at Sensible Soccer 2-3 in that game there. So we got Ed Retro Ed UK. How you doing, my friend? Nice to see you again, and I will be seeing you in a moment as well. So all of you guys all chatting. Essex Retro Gamer, how you doing, Rob? Thanks for being here. Awesome. Balanas as well. The Retro Gamer Revival guys are here in full force this evening, so thank you. And awesome stream you guys had last night on your channel. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. I will put details in the description where you shared with us your experiences of OLL 22. It was great. The live chat was going really good. So whilst the video is still there on the channel, you can check out the chat replay as well and see what people were talking about. So go check that out. Retro Dregs, what we got here then? Hello from my dungeon of games. Awesome. Nice one. And what else have we got here then? Just catch up with these chat and then I'll bring the guests in. So I have missed Daytona chat. No, you haven't. We've not started about Daytona just yet. So we're all good. So there we go. So that's the chat all updated. Yeah, you deserve that trophy because you beat number 10 in the world on Sensible Soccer. But it was a different version of Sensible Soccer. I've not played that one before. So that's probably because that's how you beat me. So right, let's bring the guests in. Let's bring my co-host in for the collaboration that we tend to do on YouTube and now in person, because you guys have seen it if you were in Norfolk at the weekend. It's my friend and yours.
Well,
Al.
hey!
Hey.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Long time.
Well, yeah, it was just this weekend, wasn't it? Yeah, busy one. As you can
was a
see, I've
busy
got
one.
the bags on my eyes seem to be getting bigger and bigger, and I've just kicked the damn desk.
You always do. You always kick the mic or kick the
I
desk.
always kick the mic.
So how you been, my friend? How have you been?
Yeah, very good. I'm just so glad it's a short week, to be fair, and it's going to be a short week next week as well, so I can then finally recover. But this is cool. This is the Easter stream, essentially, isn't it?
It is, yes, yes. I'm not giving out any Easter eggs, but we have reached 1,000. I have reached 1,000 subscribers on my Twitter channel, so I may give out a prize soon. So I might run a giveaway.
Interesting. What is that prize going to be then?
I don't
Because
know.
I didn't even know about this. You
Well,
didn't tell me
I
this.
just thought about it. I just thought about it. But seeing as it's Easter, I might give away one of these.
Wow.
You know, if you've already got it, great. But if you haven't, you can sell it on eBay. But seeing as it's Easter, I might pick up one of those again and sell it as a giveaway for people to say thank you.
Hold on, mate.
Oh no, what's he doing?
I'm wearing kind of same colour here.
Are we both wearing yellow?
Well, mine's actually technically more orange.
More mustard, more Colonel Mustard.
It is more a Colonel Mustard.
It is. But no, nice to see you again, and we will get to it in the chat. Well said, James. Thank you very much. Awesome. So let's bring our next guests along then, shall we? So let's bring in another person which actually helped us set up our stand at the OLL 22 in Norfolk. Great part of the community and part of the Retro Gaming Revivals team. It is our friend Tim Triangle Face. There he is.
Hello.
How you doing, Tim? Are you okay, my friend?
Very good. How are you guys?
We are doing fantastic. Oh, what's that in the background?
I see on the screen. There it is.
Oh, wow. Da-da, da-da-da-da. Well,
How did that get there?
how did that get there? And it's made it safe and sound from the coaches and the buses and the cars from Norfolk to the nice shelf in the background.
The amount of times I had to get it out of my bag for a photo shoot, thanks to Dorbs' enthusiasm for the trophies on the way home. I'm surprised it did get it back and safely, but it did. Managed to get home.
I'm really glad. I'm glad to have you here, and I can see an Evercade just above your head there as well.
Indeed,
So
there is one just there.
yes, because we'll be talking about that this evening. So thank you very much. So, and another person that we did meet in person, so we did have the same backgrounds, was my friend Ed. So Ed, hello there, my friend.
Hey, evening all. Hey James, hey guys.
How you doing? Great to see
doing
you
very well.
again.
Yeah, great to finally meet you in person.
Yes,
over the
yes,
weekend,
absolutely.
which was awesome. Feeling a bit
yeah.
left out. I haven't got a trophy or.
Don't worry,
but,
we're gonna buy
friendship was
plenty
enough.
more.
No, it was awesome to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was great. And once again, you was with us throughout the whole weekend at our stand, chatting to us, keeping us entertained as well, and taking part in the Guitar Hero. I saw you on that as well a couple of times. And you are wearing some yellow as well because it is Easter. I see it on the logo.
Yeah, a bit of a connection going on. Absolutely.
Yes. Cool, awesome. But we will chat some more about Evercade. We'll chat some more about Easter. Maybe not the religious parts of Easter, because me and Al had that on the journey to Norfolk. We was talking about everything.
Oh God, yeah.
That's for another live
That
stream.
never needs to be repeated anywhere.
No, it does not.
No.
So we're going to bring on two other guys now simultaneously. We're going to bring in Liam from the Facebook fans group for Evercade, and also John Crazy Burger, both of which are two great ambassadors to the Evercade. So I'm going to bring those both along now. So here they both are. Good evening, chaps.
You all right?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
How are we all doing? Nice to have you with us. So we've got plenty of things to go over Evercade wise, which is why we needed you guys here, because yeah, the Evercade stuff that you do is very good. So let's move these around a bit. Let's move the people around. Yeah, we keep Al down in the bottom corner, just like he was in Norfolk at the bottom of the table.
Unbelievable.
Right. So let's get started then. So thank you everybody in the chat. If you're watching this video back, thank you very much for being with us and watching it back, and leave us a comment on any of the subjects we discuss throughout the evening. So let's talk about the first subject then, shall we? Which is the Oliver Twins collection for the Evercade. So we're going to start off through each of you. Just if you've got it, let me know, and also your thoughts about every game on the cart, and do you think it's actually a decent cart to own in your collection whilst it's still available to purchase. So we'll start with you. We'll go through the list of the people from right to left. So Ed, we'll start with you. Do you have the Oliver Twins collection in your collection?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think I own every cart in the collection for OCD reasons. Is it a cart that, you know, a go-to cart, a cart I absolutely love? I think I've got more, perhaps, certainly respect for some of those titles than I did before. I mean, I was a bit of a specky, as in ZX Spectrum kid growing up, and I didn't play, you know, some of the titles back then that are available on it. So the Evercade for me was really the first time round, and I'll be honest, I played a few of the games, but haven't really gone back to. I think the one that that stood out for me was kind of Mystery World, Dizzy. It was fairly, you know, kind of not particularly kind of, you know, lengthy game, fairly like pick up and play. You know, rescue the damsel in distress that's Mrs. Dizzy. You know, not too taxing in terms of puzzles. So yeah, it was good. But I'll be honest, it's not necessarily my real kind of, you know, main genre of gaming. But you know, kudos for the Oliver Twins for putting it out and, you know, designing and programming. You know, good set of games.
Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, well said. For me personally, I would have enjoyed more older Dizzy games, but the ones that we did have on there, I don't think when I did my top 5 video, I think only one Dizzy game made it into my top 5 on that cart, because there's plenty of other good games on there that are not Dizzy. But let's move over to Triangle Face. Tim, what are your thoughts on the Oliver Twins cartridge? Do you own it for your collection?
I do not. I don't have it in my collection, but I have played quite a few games that's on there. To be honest, the Dizzy games are a little bit before, the early ones are a bit before my time, so I never really played them when they sort of first came out. And the thing is, for the Dizzy games are very much an important sort of milestone in game development and gaming history. I kind of appreciate what they are, but I've never really played them when I was younger. So playing them new, I found them quite hard to get into, to be honest. But I do still sort of appreciate how important those games are to gaming and what they did. But I do find them. I'm surprised when you said it wasn't that challenging. I found them really hard to figure out what I was supposed to do. So I was going to say they were. I started playing one of them. Which one was it? I think it's Treasure Island Dizzy, like one of the more recent ones that has the better graphics. I was just wandering around and I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. But Ed thinks they're easy, so
just that one.
But what I'm going to do now, before I go on to the bottom half of the panel, I'm going to show you guys all the games that are included on the cartridge. So this is going to appear on the screen. So there we go.
Dizzy themed games that aren't the standard sort of platforming back and forth. Go collect items, Dizzies.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I thought Blaze were going to have Dizzy as their mascot, as you can see there on the side art and throughout some publications. They had Dizzy holding an Evercade, and that's one of the first carts to go or whatnot. So I'm guessing that partnership has since ended. But yeah, there is really good other non-Dizzy games on there. So some of the other games like BMX Simulator, I had that on the Amstrad. Yeah, that was really good. I know, sorry, John, I've said Amstrad already. It's like, what, 14 minutes in? But, I mean, a lot of the other games are decent games.
Hit me knee.
So, yeah, we'll go through the actual panel then, the bottom half of the panel. So, John, what are your thoughts on this cartridge, the Oliver Twins cartridge, each of the games and Dizzy as a whole?
I mean, I really bought into the Evercade because of this collection. When it got announced, I really sat up and thought, oh, wow. Because I loved playing the Dizzy games when I was growing up on the C64, not the Amstrad. But obviously they are originally Spectrum games. And we'd not got the Spectrum, Commodore 64 or Amstrad versions. They're all NES versions, which I was actually quite disappointed with initially. But once you play them, most of them are fine. You can get past it. I think realistically, the NES versions were probably better looking for the most part than the Commodore 64 Spectrum versions or Amstrad. But there are a few of the games. There's one of the games I really don't like, but I played them all to completion, really enjoyed them, but the naming convention got me a bit confused. I mean, you've got Treasure Island Dizzy, which is actually the second Dizzy game. Then after that, it was supposed to be like Fantasy World Dizzy, or then Magic Land Dizzy, which is like the third and fourth version, but the naming convention on the NES was completely changed. So it gets a bit confusing. So I think Fantasy World Dizzy was changed to be Mystery World Dizzy. Then I think Magic Land was something else. It just absolutely completely confusing, but they're more or less the same games, just with different names.
Pretty much,
yeah. I mean, I don't know what Ed's thinking they're easy, because they're definitely not easy. If you ever played Treasure Island Dizzy on the Commodore 64 or Spectrum, you only had one life. You touched something, you died. I mean, that was petrifying when you were back in the day without a save state. So that was a hell of a challenge to complete. Interestingly enough, I think there's probably two ways you can look at this cart, because I think there's people probably prefer the puzzle element games, and there's obviously other element that obviously bought it just to play Dizzy games. I think my favourite one's probably the Mystery World Dizzy, or the one that's like got Alice in the Wonderland in it. I think they're really, really good. They're probably the best ones to play if you were starting from scratch. I didn't like the Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy. I thought that was horrible. I thought it was just too difficult to actually get into, and I think the NES version is particularly awful. But yeah, obviously we've got the NES versions because we can't have Commodore 64 and Amiga, whatever, on Evercade yet. But I would still like to see, we could have had maybe the Mega Drive version of Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Very good version.
But probably one of the best, the best games on the cart is Poggy. Dreamland Poggy is probably one of the best games on the cart, which isn't really a Disney game, but it's like a relatively new one, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, overall, I love the cart, but it's one of those ones that once you've done it, you're unlikely to go back to it and replay it again. It's a bit disappointing. So I've not really touched it since it came out.
No, I mean, I've gone back to it for a couple of the other non-Dizzy games. I keep going back to those. But yeah, Dizzy games for me have always been very, very difficult, because I played a Dizzy game on a cover tape that came with a Total Recall and Dizzy on there as well. So it's like, yeah, it's such a difficult game. What we got here, I picked up the collection of Treasure Island Dizzy. Played it back on the Atari ST. There's some fun surprises on there though, and some oddities like Super Robin Hood. Good cart. Yeah.
See, I had Super Robin Hood on that was one of the first games I played on the Commodore 64. It was like the Quattro Adventure Pack, which had the original Dizzy, which we don't have, which is awful, horrible. Robin Hood and a couple other games, which is kind of fascinating. But yeah, I definitely love the Dizzy games. I would have liked to have seen Fast Food and Quick Snacks, to be honest. I thought they were really good games.
Yeah,
but,
Fast Food, Quick Snacks. Yeah, two of the really cool spin-off games there. So thank you, John, my friend. So Liam, do you have that Dizzy collection in your collection? And what do you think of it, if you do have it?
Yeah, I've got it. And a bit like Triangle Face, I never played it growing up. I think it is one of those where you have to have nostalgia for it. Because I know, like in the Facebook group, a lot of the Americans who didn't play it growing up, the Americans don't really like it at all. And I think same with Triangle Face. I've tried it. I just might ruffle a few feathers, but I just don't see the big deal about the Dizzy games. I just don't find them interesting. There's those ones where I've just sort of tried just to see if they work on the cart, and they work, and it's sort of not been played since.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, what about the other games on the collection, like the Super Robin Hood, the Firehawk, or what are the other games that are on there? Do you like those?
To be honest, I've not really tried. No, because it is so Dizzy. It is almost a Dizzy cart. I almost forgot about it and just not gone back to it. So yeah, I haven't even tried those ones.
No worries. It's awesome. I mean, for me, like I said, in my top 5 games on that cart, only one Dizzy made an appearance, and there's shed loads of Dizzy games on there. But yeah, it's all good. Thank you, Liam, my friend. And we move swiftly over to the lumberjack in the middle there.
I suppose you are right, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you have the cart in your collection?
I do indeed, yeah.
You do. And what's your thoughts on it then, please, my friend?
Yeah, to be fair, for me, my favourite games on there that I still do play on there are Firehawk and Super Robin Hood. Super Robin Hood is, for me, a really hard game, but I think all those games are pretty hard, to be fair, but that is pretty hard. And yeah, I just really like it. It's really cool. Like John was saying, I think I even had the Quattro thing back on, but mine was on the Amstrad. And yeah, I remember it from then. And Firehawk, to be fair, until the cart came along, I hadn't actually played before. So, and I really quite like that. Again, that's a really hard game as well. But yeah, good fun titles. But yeah, I think possibly the wrong Dizzy games on this collection. It would be cool to see another one, but I'm guessing that's probably never going to happen. But unless John knows anything,
no, it's highly doubtful. I mean, there's not many more Dizzy games to come out. There is Crystal Kingdom Dizzy, but that was really just on Amiga. I don't think there was like a console version of it, unfortunately. But that'd be good. That was a good Dizzy game.
Fantastic. Well, as we got Tim here from the Retro Game Revivals, those guys did actually have a conversation with the Oliver twins, and I do have a little snippet of their video, and I will put the full video in the description as well if you guys want to go back and watch that. So just give me a moment whilst I figure out how to do this on the main screen again.
For people that need no introduction, our special guests today are the Oliver twins. So thank you very much for joining us today.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Brilliant. We really appreciate you guys spending the time with us. So there was quite a bit of time. There was quite a bit of time between, I think, the last Dizzy game in about '92 until about sort of 2011, I think it was. When
Why was that?
Yeah. And my question is, what was it like to revisit Dizzy again after almost like a 20-year break?
Oh, I suppose when we did Wonderful Dizzy, that was revisiting, that was redesigning. But the other ones were just trying to get released, the ones we'd already written years ago. That was enough of a struggle, which was, we managed to get them out, and that was great. But I guess going back and actually making Wonderful Dizzy was an interesting challenge and dilemma.
So yeah, so that was the Oliver twins. Go check out that video. Awesome that you guys actually managed to get them on there. As Ryan and the other guys said from the Retro Game Revival, it would have been good to have a panel of devs, publishers, and people within the industry appearing on the panel at OLL 22. But that could be something that they may do at a later event, because when I checked out Geb's video live stream earlier, OLL went onto the stream and they said in the comments that there's so many things they want to add, amend, and remove if they were to do another event. They didn't say that they're going to do one. They just said if they were to do one. So lots of learns, I think, from them guys. But yeah, I'll put the details in the description of that video. I'll put the details of the video in the description later on.
There you go.
I got it right there in the end. So that's
James,
awesome.
interesting. He talked about Wonderland. Was it Wonderful? Does he? Sorry, that was the most recent one. I think it was a Spectrum version, right enough. But there was an online version you could play. Only played it briefly, right enough. But
indeed,
that would be cool.
Yeah. They did. They talked a lot about like their movie time games. If you go back and watch that stream, that was probably the bit I was most interested in because I've always found that when you play like a game based on a movie, it always feels like there's something just not quite right with it. There's a few exceptions. We get some movie time games that are really good. And when we were talking to them about it, they sort of explained that as a developer making a game for a movie, they haven't seen the movie yet. The movie's not come out and they don't get to watch it early to help them base the game on it. A lot of time they just get the script. So I think it was like the Ghostbusters 2, they said it wasn't too bad because they'd seen Ghostbusters 1 and they knew who the actors were and what they looked like. But I think if you play that game, the colour of the ooze is like green ooze as opposed to the purple ooze because they didn't know what it looked like and they just knew it from the script. And they talked about they made a game for Bad Boys 2, but they kept on going through this. Oh, you can't use these. You can't use this. You can't use this. And they're telling all this stuff they couldn't use. Like they said, oh, you can't use the music. You can't use the type of car. You can't make the character look like Will Smith. You don't because they didn't have the rights to any of that stuff. And it transpires they didn't actually have the rights to make a game based on Bad Boys 2, the movie. They had the rights to make the game based on Bad Boys 2, the poster. As the only thing they actually have the rights to. So that's why that game just didn't really live up to that film. And apparently it came out the same year as GTA 3. Right. But that's just one of the great stories they gave us. So they're really good to have on. And they actually made a comeback on our Christmas special as well. So we get a chance to check out our Christmas special. That was a really good fun. I think one of them was dressed up as well as an elf. So, yeah, great couple of guys. They bounce off each other. They're so funny. They're telling the stories and they're like, no, I did that bit, and they're going back and forth. So yeah, really good guys to have on. One of my favourites actually. One of my favourite streams we did.
Awesome, very good. Yeah, we'll put details of the Christmas one and the main interview one that you guys had with those gentlemen. Al, I think you've got a screen sharing up there with a little bit of Dizzy. Did you want to showcase some of those? Yeah, let's.
I won't show the gameplay though because it's super damn loud. But obviously on their website right here, yeah, you can play. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's do this. Yeah, so basically all of these games here can all be played in the browser.
Wow.
Yeah, this is all on their own website.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got the NES, the DOS, the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So you got Quick Snack there, fast food. Oh, the Amstrad's there, of course.
Amstrad CPC, of course, best version.
464.
No.
Oh.
And then ZX Spectrum right there. But yeah, all on here. Then you can see all the official titles. They list them up here. It's just a database. But then they also list the actual fan games, which I haven't even looked at yet, but I've just noticed it. Yeah.
Scroll up again. How many fan games?
Wow.
We have 297 fan games in the archive. Wow.
That's my weekend.
There you go. That's
there
a lot.
That's the Easter weekend for everyone.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you can play them on this part. Well, let's find out. Download.
Yeah,
they're all on there.
Wow.
So there you go. A Pirate's Life Dizzy. There's one. So yeah, if you're a Dizzy fan, then go check out their website. It's literally yokefolk.com. There you go.
Cool. I'll pop that in the description as well. Yeah. So thank you for that, Al. And because I knew you was checking that out before the live stream started. So we've got great site here. And great icon that you've got there as well for your thumbnail image.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim is all over this indeed. Right. So the next subject we're going to move on to, keeping with the Easter egg theme, is this. It's the Evercade VS Easter eggs, so secrets and hidden games. So John, you've covered a couple of these on your channel. We've also been credited on another website, which I'm going to refer to in just a moment. So if people like me, I don't know why I'm doing this because I didn't want to find these secrets and Easter eggs. But if you don't want to find these out, then look away now and mute or come back later in about 10 minutes because we're going to talk about some of the Easter eggs and secrets that have been found. So, so let's take you to the page then, shall we? So look away now is the time to look away. So this is the website that I'm on, which is the Evercade Info Central page. So it's evercade.info, and then it's the secrets section. So on here, you can submit secrets, Easter eggs at the bottom if you so desire. So if you find any, let people know, like the Among Us sort of shushing. So, so if we just go on this section here, if you put in the Atari collection number 1 and 2, if you can get them out of your VS afterwards, it gives you this game on the Atari 7800, if that's how it's pronounced, by Dan. Thank you very much for that. Then if you go along again and put in the Atari Lynx collections 1 and 2, you get given this game. So John, where do they appear then when you put the these codes in? Do they appear like how
so
the game of the month is?
Yeah, so the codes, you put them in where the secret code section is. You just type that in what it says there. Obviously, the cartridge combination or the button combinations you're talking about. So
Well,
the button,
yeah, go on then. Talk about the cartridge combinations first, but we'll move on to the button one afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, the cartridge combinations is some. You just put the 2 cartridges in, and the game will just automatically appear in the list on the screen.
Right.
They're pretty straightforward. The button combinations has to be done on the main screen. You can have cartridges in or not. It doesn't make any difference. And then you just input the buttons, as you can see there. You just hold the first ones. You hold L2 and R2 and press select, and Gotris, the Sega Master System game, will come up, which is pretty cool. It's like a Tetris style game.
Okay.
Those initial games, they're all right. I mean, you're only going to play like the Spacey McRacey just once or twice, and that'll be it. But the ones that were most recently revealed last week, they were really, really good games. And they're actually PC games that you can actually buy on Steam.
All right.
Right down the bottom. If you go down the bottom, see the bottom, the button combinations. You've got a game called Fairy Fire and Hummings. Fairy Fire is a bit like a Defender clone, and it's really good fun to play. Quite a challenge. Hummings is like a Centipede kind of clone thing, and it's pretty good. It's really good.
Awesome. So when you do these codes, do they appear unlocked all the time now then? Are they something that will always...
Unfortunately they don't. So that's what everyone was kind of complaining about, because you know, once you turn your machine off, you have to put the code back in all over again, or the same cartridge combination. So ideally, I would like, once you've unlocked it, just a section on your VS where it just saves it and you don't have to unlock all the time, which would be good, because that is a bit of a pain.
And these ones as well, is it just a case of when you put the cartridge in, just for that time, does that game then load, or does it appear just in the selection of games?
It just appears as one of the games in the collection. So if you put the 2 Atari collections in, you would get an additional game on the screen. And you've got all your save slots and save states as you normally would for every other game that you see on there.
Okay, and then that one then will remove when you've taken the cartridges out, or reset.
Yeah, it'll disappear basically as soon as you take it out. The last one there is the one that was released last week as well, called Twin Brats. There's Pico Collection 1 and Pico, the Gaelco Arcade Collection. So if you put them in, you get an arcade game called Twin Brats. Awesome. It's kind of a like lock and chase or a Pac-Man style kind of thing.
And I can see that there's an additional dot there, so I'm guessing that's going to be updated real soon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. I mean, I wasn't going to go too much about these combinations, but if people do want to watch this back, just to try them if you haven't done so already, because I'm going to be doing that over the weekend. Going to be trying some of these codes. I will check out these videos by yourself as well, John. That I'll gather you most likely to unlock them and had some gameplay of them as well. So, which would be awesome.
Yep, I unlocked probably a few more, but a few people jumped ahead of me to get the recognition, which is fine. I don't really mind.
That's cool. Yeah, and if people do find them, this is where you can submit your secrets and Easter eggs found here. And as it is Easter, there was where did it say Easter eggs here? So I just saw it say the word Easter egg, and that's why we're doing it for Easter.
I think, sorry, James, I think there is a few other secret codes that no one's discovered yet.
Okay.
I don't think there's any more cartridge combinations or button combinations, but there's definitely a lot of secret codes that nobody's discovered yet. But if you look at some of the examples there, you know, I don't think anyone's going to guess them anytime soon.
No.
At the top of the page.
I think the button combination one's really good to include, because then it doesn't matter what cartridges you've bought. If you've not been getting loads of carts, or you just picked up the system, you can immediately play those ones.
Yeah.
And Spacey McRacey is quite good. There was that. it's a bit nuts. Like you bounce around. At first, I thought I was doing it wrong because you just bounce around the screen as a KD, the Evercade mascot they've got. And I thought something had gone wrong, but no, you just bounce around really fast. It's really hard to avoid stuff. But if you get the timing right, all of a sudden you get into a bit of a rhythm, and you can kind of try and stay alive for as long as you can.
Yeah, 6 seconds I think is the best I've ever done.
Awesome. Well, yeah,
that is really hard.
Thank you very much, guys, for sharing that, and those Easter eggs was awesome. So that's only
to jump in. I've got to ask the question. Obviously, in terms of the carts, you can sit down on a bit of a rainy day and just juggle them around and see what game pops up. But those button combinations, John, is that like a bit of secret leaks from Blaze, or just word of mouth, or a bit of wizardry involved in the controller to get those to pop up? Surely.
So the first one was in the Retro Gamer magazine.
Okay.
Then the next ones, I mean, they're fairly straightforward. The first few were like holding L2 and R2 and pressing start or select and up and down. So I got them fairly easy, but the rest, no, I think they were leaked from somewhere, but not to me.
Okay.
There was a couple
of marketing, really, isn't it? So fair play.
Yeah, and you would never guess them. You're like pressing it. I mean, I gave up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have got Jen Cassidy in the fans group, and she's got a spreadsheet going at the minute where she's doing every single possible cartridge combination. I think what is it, 26 carts at the minute? Every single combination. There must be thousands of combinations, but yeah, she's got it all planned out where she's doing every single one to see what games are next.
You have to do it logically, to be honest. You have to, like, what two makes most sense to put together, like Pico 1, Pico 2. But there was a few that, like, what was it? Gaelco and Indie Heroes. You know, that was a bit, that made no sense, but that the rest are pretty straightforward. They make more sense.
I think it's a safe bet if you've got a 1 and a 2, it's going to have something.
Yeah.
It's like when Intellivision 2 is out, I'd imagine put those two in there, 1 and 2 together, and you'll get something.
Yeah, another shitty game.
Cool. Hopefully, we have Indie Heroes 2. If you ever get an Indie Heroes 2 cart 1 and 2, would hopefully get you something else.
Well, that moves on nicely to a segue that I'm going to talk about now. Talking about Indie Heroes 2, which is which is the Evercade launches the Game of the Month feature. So exclusive games for the Evercade VS. The game there. Have you played it, you guys in the panel? I've downloaded it, and I can't stop playing it. So we'll go to you, John, because you're the top left. Have you played it and downloaded it just yet?
Yeah, I had already played it on the NES on Steam, but I've definitely downloaded it. It's a cracking game. It's pretty relaxing to actually play through. I think there are levels that are pretty stressful, about maybe every 20 levels or so, which are a lot different. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's much like the style of Flea. It doesn't play like Flea, obviously. It's not a platformer, but it's a single screen puzzly game. It's good. I really like it.
Awesome. Yeah, likewise. I think it's great fun, like you say, relaxing and stressful at the same time. And it just, sometimes I just keep thinking to myself, this is awesome. I'll move on to Al in a moment. I mean, I don't know if you've spoken to Alistair Lowe. I mean, is this going to come out on Dreamcast? Because you're Mr. Dreamcast.
Well, you already know it is out on Dreamcast. It's right here. There it is. Yeah, to be fair, I really like the Dreamcast version. Even the inside. Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a really good game. Obviously, I haven't played it on the Evercade yet, but yeah, it is really good. It feels like he's clearly building a universe here. With his characters, which is cool. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up next within that universe. Will it be a different style of game again? Maybe it will.
Perhaps we'll get to play as the creature that's got these worms and fleas.
But yeah, you never know. Yeah, but it is really good on the Dreamcast. Yeah.
Thank you, Al. Ed, have you downloaded it yet? Have you got a VS?
To be honest, I haven't yet. It's a busy old week, so yeah, I need to download the latest operating system for the VS and get stuck in. But over the 4 days of the Easter weekend, I'm gonna do just that.
Awesome. check it out. Yeah, it's really good. And yes, Retro Dregs, it is free. If you've bought yourself a VS, you can download it for free, because I did a little video of me downloading the latest update. Once you do that, then it just appears as like a little favorite star on the left hand side next to where your cartridges are. You just click on that and play. You press the Y button if you want to do a competition mode. That kind of grays out the save feature just to see how far you get. So yeah, I did that, and it's pretty awesome. So yes, it is free of charge. Liam, have you downloaded it yet? Have you given it a go?
Yeah, it's like I say, it's different to Flea, but almost in the same vein as that. It's not the most like complex game as like this. Like Flea, there's not much to it, but it's just so addictive. I think Alice Delo's is cracked. Just sort of being able to make those games or just like one more go sort of thing. He's sort of got the formula for those games. Yeah, it is a great game.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Liam. Yes, and yourself, Tim, have you got a VS? Have you downloaded
Yes,
it?
I have indeed. Really enjoying it. I'd like to play the 2-player. I've not played the 2-player version yet, so I'd like to see what that offers. But yeah, it's the 1-player game is really good. It eases you in quite gently, because the first few levels are quite easy to pick up and get the concept of it, and all of a sudden you find yourself making mistakes and dying and going, oh, actually I need to think about this a bit more now. But yeah, it's really good. I really like when they start introducing enemies and you have to sort of think a little bit more carefully about where you're going to go and what order it's in. It's a nice little puzzler.
Awesome.
Good
Yes.
puzzle game.
Very well said, and totally agree, because I like it, and yeah, it's all good. So thank you very much for that. So let's catch up with the chat, because people are liking the game. They're saying thank you for that. Yes, it is completely free, cracking game there. Rob, I thought you was going. I thought you was having an early night. You're still here, which is good. So that's that done then. So let's see what else we've got.
Am I right? We're getting a free game each month, but it's the previous month game goes, and you just get a different. So you only get it for the month, and then it's something else next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So I think at the end of the year that will then form Indie Heroes 2.
Yeah.
So I think one of the months we're going to end up getting 2, because if you count the months, there's going to be 10 games in the cart. Of only 9 months to Christmas, nearly here already. But yeah, once December hits, I think that's when the cart will be coming out probably. So we've got something to look forward to every single month with a new game.
That's
Good
it.
start.
Yeah. Indeed. Awesome. Right. So we're going to move on now to the next subject, which we have. Liam, it's going to be all about you, my friend. So it is the magazine, Evercade Evolution Magazine 4. Liam, tell us all about it.
We're really pleased with this one, because we redesigned a lot of it. We sort of condensed it down a lot, and sort of got the.
Let's have a look at that cover again, then, please, Liam. Let's have a look at. Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, we've condensed it down a lot. So of all the things that I've got, talk about Flea. We've got
interviews.
Yeah, we've got 3 interviews this time. All the Indie Heroes guys. There's John Rue from Quest to Est, Alice Delo from Flea, and then Dale Coop and his son Seji, who did the Kubo games. And then we've done the Television 1 and 2 carts. It's the first arcade carts. That's we did the Technos carts. All the news in there. The competition. Yeah, first competition in there. If you've not got the renovation and the Gremlin carts, the competition to win the Gremlin carts.
Wow.
Ed's in there, is the fantasy cart for us. We expanded the team this time to get things done quicker, and John and Ed both joined the group. And so did, when you showed Yoke Folk earlier, Andrew Joseph, who runs that, and he works for Blaze as well. He's joined the group, sort of just doing reviews and things for us. But yeah, it is a lot more condensed this time. So the game reviews down to 1 page. So it's they just look a lot more finished.
Yeah, a lot more polished. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, but it's going pretty well. I know Dor was asking in the chat earlier. It's about sales. It's not been out 2 weeks yet, and we've sold over 200 copies so far. So it's doing all right. Doing just over 100 copies a week. So it's doing okay so far. And this one, it's for Gaming Grandad. For the first month's profits are all going to Stroke Association UK. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll tend to see most sales in the first month. The first month sales are going to stroke social in the UK, and we've something like so sold just over 200 copies so far. So it's going okay for that.
Incredible, and yeah, very good to do that as well, Liam and the gang that were on board with that one. So awesome. So thank you very much for that, and I'll put the details in the description below where you can buy this, or you can digitally download it as well. I think you can digitally download versions 1 and 3 for the moment. I don't know if you can download 4 just yet.
Yeah, you can get all 4. Yeah, all 4 on the Kindle one seems to go up straight away. It tends to be the printed one that takes a bit longer. But yeah, it's slowly rolling out. I think in Australia, like the Kindle one was there for about a week before the printed one showed up. But yeah, you can get the Kindle or the printed.
Awesome, and this is available to anyone worldwide. It's shipping across the world. Is that correct?
Well, it's on Amazon. It just depends if they offer print on demand, but they do seem to rolling it out in more countries. So it was usually like UK was the biggest market, then America, then it was Germany. Whereas this time round, Holland's the 3rd biggest market. So I'm guessing they've started doing it in Holland now as well.
Awesome, great stuff. And it seems like there's a great community in the group chat as well for the magazine. That's awesome.
It's just John and Eric shouting at each other, really.
I say it has been an eye opener, not just in the banter sense, but the amount of effort these guys put in. I think I've done a little article when you look at the broader magazine and the amount of the proofreading, the content, the creation, the imaging, the marketing, amazing stuff. Really, really professional. So yeah, well done to the guys.
Awesome, that's great stuff. Yeah, and thank you for all your hard work. It looks lovely on that nice glossy paper as well. So awesome. I'm going to talk about the most recent carts as well that have been released, because you can win those in a competition in the magazine, and also the pre-orders. So we'll get a little video of them on the screen. So just give me a second whilst I do that for you now. So yeah, those are the most recent carts, 2 of which are available now to purchase, and 2 of which are available now, I guess, to pre-order. So I have played the 2 latest carts. I played Gremlins Renovation.
You got it.
That's it. Got it.
Not Revelation this time, then.
No, so I've played these 2. Let me put me on full screen. I'm never normally on full screen. Here we go. Oh, put me on yellow. There we go. Played these 2. Nice glare. So, and then I also played the other one as well before that. And that's all I'm going to say about those carts. So I played them. No, I'm joking. I really liked them. I don't know if you saw my video, everybody, and I liked all the carts. Some of which, like I didn't really put my teeth into the RPG games and stuff like that for the purposes of the video, but they're games I'll go back to because I'm a big fan of those style of games. I had like Crystal Warriors and stuff like that on the Game Gear, so I'm looking forward to playing another game handheld-wise RPG style. So that would be quite good. So John, I'll move over to you first because you're at the top left of the screen. So those 2 carts, or tell me your thoughts on both of them then, please.
So I've played Renovation more than Gremlin, to be honest. I've been pretty much playing through all of the games. Like El Viento, I've really enjoyed. The Valis games, I've really liked. I've hardly touched Gremlin, sadly. I'm definitely planning on going back to it, but I think it's a little bit disappointing. I think the more you sort of get into like Zool, for instance, it's okay for a quick blast, but you kind of get a bit fed up with it. It's a bit disappointing. I think there's definitely a few games that I'd like to get my teeth stuck into, like Actua Soccer. It's probably a lot better on the VS because you can change the viewpoints with your sort of R2 and L2 button, which it gives a whole different dimension to the game. Some of the other games, there's a lot of depth to them, like Utopia, for example. They're games that you really need to take a lot of time out to understand how to play them. But at least this time, Blaze have actually gave a lot of details in their the sort of little booklet manual things, so you can actually try and understand the games. But I've definitely played Renovation Collection a lot more. There's a lot of really. It's probably one of the best carts that's been released yet. Like as Link Skater said, there, Granada's really good. It's a great little shooting game. It's got a lot of variety to it. I'm not too keen in the RPG games. There's I think 2 RPG games, Exile and the other one, which is not great. But everyone's going to get something different out of this cart. Beast Wrestler obviously is probably the worst game on there. Now that's horrendous. Arcus Odyssey is, I really like it. It's fantastic, pretty hard. Dino Land's like your pinball game. It's really good too. Final Zone, that's another good. There's some good shooters on there like IRS and Sol Dees. They're really decent if you like. Your shooters are really pretty good. The 2 Valis games are kind of strange. Obviously the character sort of runs extremely slowly, but the games themselves are actually, I actually really liked them. But Trazia is the other RPG, which kind of looks pretty good, but I just can't get into it at all. It's just so slow and sluggish. I just don't have the patience to sort of pick it up. But there are people out there that like it. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it's a really strong cart.
Yeah, lots of one-player games on here.
Yeah.
So, is there any? Yeah, that's a 2-player game. Look at that one. Beast
Wrestler. You won't play.
So, it's a pinball game, not 2 players. Is that?
No.
No. Wow. But I really enjoyed a couple of these games on here. That one I enjoyed a lot. And this one I couldn't work out how to shoot because I pressed the shoot button and it weren't doing anything. So I was like, right, okay.
Well, hold it down.
Is it holding it down?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one I really enjoyed that one because in my video it kind of reminds me of the first level of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker the game style, like map and follow it round and where you need to go and collect items. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, awesome. And thanks for that, John. Anybody else played this game or owned this collection and owned this collection?
Yeah, it seems a decent collection. I've not played it too much because since those new carts have come out, I've just been stuck into Premier Manager. But it seems a nice collection. I tried Beast Wrestler because I thought it can't be as bad as John says it is, but I honestly don't. When you're playing it, I don't know if I'm hitting them or they're hitting me, but then all of a sudden one of you's on the floor and you just hope it's not you. It really is a bad game. It's almost like it's unfinished, but they just put it out.
Well, they wouldn't do that now, would they? Unfinished games, but look, just scrolling through some of these games here. There's that fighting game.
You can't tell who's hitting who.
I feel really intrigued by it now. I really want to play it, see how bad it is.
Well, what was it? I think I did a back suplex on one of them or something, and it looked pretty impressive. So there's this Dino Land here as well, and quite a lot. So it says Dino Land for the whole lot, but it's not. The timestamp's a bit off. This one here, this is the one I liked.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. RPG game, didn't really have much time to play through that myself, but I probably will return to it. This is the one that you said, John, wasn't it? The Final Zone.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The
controls are a bit clunky, but that's still good.
Awesome. And then let's go for some more. This one, yeah, so I couldn't, so I'm guessing I just got to hold the button down there because I was tapping it as if like an R-type sort of shooting game, but I'm guessing you just have to hold it down then. That's probably what messed me about then. But yeah, it does look good if you like R-type and Salamander.
On that game with the orb, you can shoot the orb out to grab the enemies.
Yeah.
And when you bring them back in, I think you take their weapon. So early on, if you grab as many weapons as possible, it gets so difficult if you miss certain missile weapon types. But yeah, it's a nice little twist on, I think, on the R-type theme.
Awesome. Yeah, this one was good because I've got like a Mega CD version of, is it Soul Fleece on the Mega CD? Soul Feast.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's mostly the same game apart from the full motion video stuff that's in it, which is really cheesy.
Yeah, I did enjoy that. That was quite good game on there. And what else we got to skip through the last lot? Another RPG style game there, I think, with some fighting elements probably in that as well. What's this? These are the 2 Valis games. Like you say, it looks like she's running fast, but she's not. But it's nice and colourful, and I gather it'd be good on a handheld to play it through. I've not played any of these carts on my handheld just yet. I've only ever played them on the VS system.
See, I'm the opposite, James. I've played them all in the handheld rather than the VS.
Oh wow! I gather the picture quality is really clear then for these sort of games on the handheld.
Yeah, well, I've got the purple version. It's just a little bit brighter. Honestly, I've really enjoyed just sitting down playing it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really good.
Nice one. Cool. So that's that. So there we go. Let's take that off. And what was the other cartridge that is on here as well? That's a recent one. The Gremlins one. Everyone's favourite Gremlins cartridge.
Gremlin.
That's it. So let's go through like we just did there again. And here is the Gremlin cartridge.
Oh, look at that.
Collection 1. So not many games on this collection. And here's 6 of them. So
probably because there's 2 PlayStation games, it takes up most of the memory of the cart. That's the problem.
So once again, more one-player games. So the only 2-player games there are is football games. So and one is a management. So yeah, actual soccer. It is what it is. Hardcore.
That's one hell of a review. It is what it is.
Not a football fan.
Well, I would have preferred a different actual game. Actual golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you got Hardcore 4x4, Premium Manager 97, Brain Bender, which I got used to right at the end. It's like these are mirrors, and so you shine the light down onto them and turn the mirrors. It's all very interesting. But this is the showstopper on the cart, Zool. It looks so stunning. So
you think that's the best title on there?
Yeah, of course it is.
Really?
I think that's the main draw of the cart. Yeah,
because he's there. Look, there he is.
Yeah.
I always remember really enjoying Zool as a kid. I did have Zool and played through it, but when I go back and play it, I don't find myself playing it for very long.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as I remember it.
It's actually quite hard, I thought.
You bounce, you travel so far. He's quite quick, isn't he? So when you jump around and stuff, you just go flying. It would be a lot better if the camera was a little bit further back. If you could see more of what's coming, it would be better. But
going fast through the level isn't the way to play the game. Funny enough,
no,
it makes things
it's too
worse.
tempting though, just to jump and go flying across the level. But you should really be more methodical about it. But I don't think I play it and play that first Chuppa Chups level. But the rest of the game is really good. I've not really had the patience to get through it again.
So this is a Brain Bender here, and this is like a puzzler Game Boy-esque style. And here's Al's favourite that he picked up on the PS1, 4x4, hardcore 4x4.
Yeah, I actually don't think it's not a terrible game, to be fair. Yeah.
It's good that the Evercade can handle PS1, to be fair. I'm intrigued to see what else they'll get out on it.
Yeah. I had to
get PS1 games on there.
Yeah, Tim, I had to change the steering on this when I started because the sensitive steering was all over the place. So I just had to. Oh, did you do that as well? Is that what a common thing is?
It makes it really tough. Otherwise, I mean, you just keep hitting the sides, or you keep hitting things, and you just go backwards. So yeah, you probably have to change the steering.
Yeah, but it was impressive to play it on the big TV, like a PS1 game. I've never had a PS1, so to play that on the telly would be awesome. And also, like you say, John, playing them on the handheld would be even more impressive. So Liam, have you got this collection, the Gremlin collection?
I was knackered today because I stayed up until about 2 in the morning trying to get Doncaster Rovers out of
Give up. No chance.
15th in first season, the 9th in second season, so another 3 or 4 seasons I might get out. But
Awesome.
It's an awesome game.
These type of games are, if you get sucked into them, they are really quite addictive. I mean, I've played many a football management game over the years, but I never really got into this one. I just couldn't get into it at all.
I like it 'cause it's not too in depth. Like some of the later ones on the PC, it's really in depth. Like where you have to sort of go into your corner routines and tell every single player what they're doing on the corner routine and that sort of thing. Whereas this one, it's a lot simpler. Just sort of pick your team, choose basic tactics, and put them out and hope for the best.
I mean, I don't know what to do on this game, on this one at all. I don't know what I'm doing.
Build a city, basically.
Oh, is it? Is it just SimCity style?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what's this? Everyone talking about Daytona? No, we've not spoken about Daytona just yet. We're doing. It's in 2 parts. It's the Evercade. And
I think we're going to run out of time.
I know. Probably will. But OLL 22 is coming up shortly, boys and girls. But yeah, here is the selling point for me, Zool. It's an awesome game. It's I like it. It's colourful. It's what I remembered as a childhood, like this. And if they had like a game with like Cool Spot on there as well, because it's like Cool Spot.
Oh yeah,
That was a better game.
Yeah. So yes, I know people are going to say it's not the Amiga version, but who cares? Looking like that, it plays well. It looks well. I've never been able to hit those buttons correctly either. I was sliding about all over the place.
I don't know.
Cool. So I think that is going to be it for Evercade wise. So apologies, John and Liam. That's it really. And we'll talk some more Evercade with people in the chat if they do wish to talk about Evercade. But we're going to now focus kind of still on the Evercade because apparently there was an Evercade at the OLL video game convention last weekend. There was one there, and it was at Alistair Lowe's stand. And he was selling Indie Heroes cartridges as well because his game has appeared on that. So we'll go with, start from the top then. Ed, what did you think of did you go to Alistair Lowe's section area at the convention? What did you think of the stand, what he had on display?
I thought it was good. I mean, I haven't been to many kind of events, but the ones I have been to are fairly laden with just like stalls and people selling stuff. So to actually have, developers, creators, a few publishers was quite nice. And that piece in the middle was a bit of a focal point. So you had a good chat with him and some other folk but yeah, he had a few things there. I think he had the NES version of might have been a Flea. He had some T-shirts. He had, it was a Playhead, his latest Kickstarter. A few people were having a go at that, which was quite nice. But yeah, like nice guy and just good to kind of just chat with someone that's making new games for older systems. So yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Awesome, thank you, Ed, and good evening, Ray Chan, and you was winner of the giveaway because we had some tickets to give away. I don't know the other person that won it. I don't know if they turned up, but you did, and you came over to see us. So great, and we've appeared on your live streams as well. So thank you very much. And you've also sent me some photos as well of me looking very excitable at my stand. So it's great that I had the Daytona there, and everyone was smiling and happy to play that. So yeah, Ed, thank you very much, and I chatted to Alistair Lowe as well for a bit, and I'm sure you did ours as well. Did you go over to his stand and talk to him for a little bit?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, just to talk about Playhead as well, because he was showing that there as well, and he was talking about how it was doing okay in Kickstarter, but I think he wants to get it to push it just a bit more. He's not quite where it needs to be. But yeah, it was interesting to talk to him about that and to finally actually meet him, because obviously had him on streams or whatever and all that, but to actually meet him, he's just a nice guy, nice guy who makes games for a living. I mean, nothing wrong with that. So yeah, it's cool, and it'd be good to eventually get pissed with him at some point. We didn't get to do that, unfortunately, because we left a bit early, but next time, hopefully that's the plan.
We'll talk about that shortly, what our plans were and all those sorts of things. But Tim, we're going to move on to you because I've got a little video to go with your conversation of OLL 22. So, so did you go over to chat to Alistair Lowe about his games?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we had to look at the stuff he had there. And Dawes put in the chat that Nick, who was with us, got his cart of Indie Heroes signed. And I was kicking myself. I was like, why didn't I bring my Indie Heroes cart with me? Because I knew he was going to be there. I was like, I could have got him to sign it. So bit gutted I didn't do that because that was a silly thing to forget. Yeah, he had a Flea on there. He actually showed me a little cheat on Flea I didn't know about. Where the first bit, you can actually go to the left, and then you can bounce on a cloud and go over to the side, and it shows you a little warp zone. So he showed me where you go on that. And yeah, I had it all go and Playhead. It is really good, actually. It's like if you've not seen it yet, it's like a YouTube video, and you can slide the timeline, but you can also snap the timeline certain positions, and the level moves around based on where in the video you are, and then it's like a puzzle platformer. Yeah, he's definitely got a good eye for like level design, as you can tell from Flea and Tapeworm. So that should be good as well.
Awesome.
And, yeah, but then me, Ryan, and Dorbs actually did get pissed with him on the Sunday because we stayed an extra night. So we joined him and a couple of the other guys there, Wave Studios and Tall Tale Games, and Retro Faith was there as well. We went out for a meal and had a few drinks on a Sunday, which is a good way to wrap up the weekend. So,
I mean, me and Al are kicking ourselves that we
didn't are a little
the networking because we kind of were a little bit, why didn't we? But yeah, it's all learns for us.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, we'll discuss that in this video and maybe a different one in the future.
We also I talked a little bit about game making with Alistair Lowe, and he did put me onto Game Boy Studio, which I've just started looking at. Downloaded that pretty much the next day after I got home and start playing around with it. And it's a great platform, so I'm looking to try and hopefully make some games in there.
Awesome.
That should be good fun.
Cool.
So
yeah,
if you're looking to start doing game making, it's a good place to start because it's visual coding, and you can kind of get away with a lot because it's Game Boy. So I'm not really much of an artist. I'll draw very basic pictures, but if it's like small amount of pixels because it's a Game Boy screen, you can kind of get away with very simple pictures. And it looks like there's quite a lot of resources out there. So yeah, he made that suggestion, and I downloaded it and started playing around.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, very good. But like I say, Blaze themselves weren't there. They didn't have a stand or a carrier bag or anything to showcase any of their items.
Carrier bag.
Well,
it seems like a missed opportunity, isn't it? Why they didn't go? I mean, such a big occasion. Why not go? It seems crazy.
Yeah. Well, hold on, James. We did reach out to them, if you remember.
No.
We did ask them. We were like, are you guys not going to be at this event? Because, well, it seems like the perfect place for you. But they, as always, just ignored our messages. They don't ever talk to us. So, yeah. So it's a shame because, like you said, the only person there with one was Alistair. So,
yeah.
Well, I had one with me, but it was in my room. So
well, that doesn't help, though, does it?
The thing is, I mean, it would have been ideal, like Al was saying, and John, like you mentioned, it would have been a perfect opportunity to have Blaze there. I mean, you had Wave there, you had lots of developers there with their tables and showcasing their games, and I don't think there has been the Evercade VS or any other. I don't know if the handheld or anything has been at a convention yet for people to pick up and play. Because EGX hasn't happened. Some other conventions haven't happened. I know, was it WASD or something? There was a convention that they were kind of there, showcasing some of their things, but at a very small capacity.
Well, like you said, they literally just had a bag with a few bits in. And you have to pay $5,000 to be there. So I mean, what the hell? And Alistair was the one who told us that. So.
That's the thing.
It seems a bit strange.
Well, we will go over this on a different section that we're going to talk about at OLL 22, our learns and what we can talk about. But, I kind of reached out to them and I was like, just give me a t-shirt, a hat or anything, or even some promotion. And we'll have a Evercade section on the table. We'll keep an eye on it, and if anyone asks, me and Al do enough videos for the Evercade, and so does Ed and Tim and everyone. We all know about the Evercade. So if anyone asks any questions about it, we can answer it, and they don't even have to be there. We could have done that for them. I mean, the same with the Dreamcast Junkyard guys. I reached out to them because I kind of work with them, and it was the same sort of answer. But they didn't send me any promotion or anything. I've got an Evercade from them, but I just wanted something to go with it. I've had that for like a year, but if they didn't send me the promotion, then I'm not going to promote it. So I might just give that away as a giveaway when I reach over 2,000 YouTube subscribers or something. But yeah, it's a real shame Blaze weren't there because we could have all had a conversation. I don't know why they're not meeting the public, but
I think there's still quite a few people that don't actually know about the Evercade as well, because a lot of people I speak to haven't actually heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, developers that we spoke to. Yeah, we spoke to loads of developers. Me and Al were trying to get their games onto the system, and they've never heard of the Evercade, and we educated them about it. And yeah, they wanted to get part of it, but that also never materialized. But it's all good, it's what they want to do. It's their direction of business, and like Al said, $5,000 to have a table.
Yeah, I mean, it's obscene, isn't it? $5,000 to be at that event, WASD or whatever it is. Where I think it's mainly developers who go to that. But if you're spending that sort of dosh, make something out of it. Don't just have it in a bag. Oh, by the way, here's an Evercade. I mean, what? What's that?
Well, anyway, it's all good.
Hold on.
Oh no,
the rant is continuing. But if they went to OLL, it's likely they would have just been given that space, and they wouldn't have even had to have paid, and probably had a bigger audience, aka the public, who would be buying the product. So it just seems very strange that they didn't have a couple consoles and a couple of maybe their best-selling cartridges there.
Bang, you go to an event like that expecting to spend money as well, don't you? You go with a bit of a budget, so I think they get quite a lot of sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I know we keep dwelling on about it, but like I say, it was a friendly expo. It wasn't like EGX. It wasn't queuing up 4 hours to play a 10-minute Halo game. you could just go around and play games and just talk to people on a friendly atmosphere. And that was a sort of video game convention that I like. You know, I'm not going to be sitting next to someone playing the new WWE game and being told I can't press the middle button on the Xbox controller and press reset, you know, because it ruins the time demo, you know, or queuing up just to play the latest Stalker game. You know, there was no queuing. It was just a really nice environment where you can actually talk to YouTube personalities, video game sellers, traders, and us kind of cool dudes as well. It's about OLL, Tim. I got a little video for you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so give me a second. Let's see if I can work this out. Here we go.
And we've got, there's James here setting up their table. There we go, there's lots to do here. Probably take a few clips throughout the day. Look at all the stands over there. We're going to have a look around, see what's going on.
So there we are. There is the fastest lap challenge.
Fastest lap challenge.
There's a winner.
And there's a winner.
Chicken dinner. That's what I did have. I had a chicken
Anything
dinner.
to say? You
Oh,
now
oh
mean
no.
it's much more undefeated. It's much more
I lost this, didn't I?
allegedly undefeated.
The best sensible soccer player in English in the world.
Okay. James, what happened?
Oh, even with hot chocolate on my face, still lost.
Way up in cricket. Great game. Great moment.
Someone else was wearing the
There we
same
go.
t-shirt as well.
That was the showdown. Ending
2-3.
I've got a bit of a dig for that because apparently the etiquette is you say the higher score first. Ryan's been challenged further now. I think Mean Machine Dean wants to crack Ryan's best Sensi player title, and sounds like you want a rematch as well. So
Yeah, I do.
we'll see where that then ends up.
I'll have a rematch because I just weren't used to the controller. As Retro Faith mentioned on your stream, James always complains and says all excuses, but I'm used to the Mega Drive version, not the whatever version we was playing on. I'm not used to that.
If it makes you feel any better, I played Ryan at Sensible Soccer once, and he beat me 8-0.
Wow.
It's just brutal. So I was like, yeah, I just couldn't get past him at all. I didn't think I haven't played Sensible Soccer in years. I didn't really know what I was doing. And he has clearly knows what he's doing. So. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. If I ask if he wants a game of Tekken, he's like, "Oh no, there's no point. You'll probably just beat me." So
no,
he didn't even want to step up for me at Tekken. So never mind.
Cool. So let's talk about the. I know we're on OLL 22 now. We're not going to really focus too much on this because we want to kind of do it for a main video where everyone that's on the panel is talking about it. Because like John and Liam, I feel like we're just going to be talking the next however so minutes about this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about some brief points that we like, what we thought, good points and bad points. So we'll start off with you. I mean, they did this on the Retro Game Revival stream last night, so go check that out for their experience on it. So we'll start with the Tim. We'll start with you, Tim, actually, on the top right. What your good points were, the bad points, and everything else in between.
Okay, yeah, really good event. It was really good. I think you mentioned earlier you could get around quite easily. You weren't in queues waiting to go on stuff. So there's lots to do there. And I found that you could get around and play on different things. I didn't play much on the Saturday. I think I spent most of the day on the Saturday just sort of walking around and talking to people, see what was going on. And then come the Sunday, I was like, I'm just going to sit down and play some games. So that was really good. I think you guys had a really good stand there. I think I probably spent most of my time at your stand, and as did Dorbs and Ryan, trying that Daytona Challenge and playing some of the games you had out. But yeah, it was good to talk to different developers that were there, other sort of YouTubers and stuff. And then they had some good panels. So got to watch the panels. I think a few bits that I think could have been slightly different is I think they didn't utilize that screen enough. They had a really big screen up on the stage, and it mostly had the logo on there for a lot of time. I think they kind of used, I think there was one group that came up, that the Museum of Gaming History went up and did a bit of a presentation on there. But it would be good to see some gaming on there. I think they had the end of the Smash tournament on there, but they could have utilized that throughout the day doing different games. I think would have been cool to see. Yeah, but other than that, it was good. I think the Wi-Fi wars we did actually miss. I think that could have been plugged a bit more and probably done earlier in the day. So I think when it got to the quiz, a lot of the traders started packing up, including yourselves. It was like things were dying down a bit, and people sat down to do a quiz, and everyone was sort of packing up. And then they introduced Wi-Fi wars, which sounded like it was a really fun interactive experience. But a lot of people had left at that point, so it would have been good if more people had caught that. But yeah, generally speaking, it was a really good event. Had a great time. It was really great to meet you guys. It was great to meet some other people we've met before. Yeah,
Indeed. Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Ed, yourself, what did you think of the convention that happened at the weekend, last weekend, OLL 22? What are your thoughts on it, please?
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. Like I kind of touched on before, it's a good range of people. It wasn't just people flogging stuff, but there was a bit of that. But then there was also the likes of Low Tech, so Alistair Lowe, yourselves providing some fantastic entertainment, and that was generally was a bit of a central point, wasn't it? People kept gravitating back to your area. I quite like the Centre for Computing History, and they had kind of a large chunk of the arena down the side, and they must have going to real guesstimate, but probably about 40 like systems, some very common, some some rarities in there, and it was a bit of a free for all. You had a game log loaded up on each system, so you could literally just walk around and have a play. And it's certainly not a rare kind of system, but I'd never played an Atari Jaguar. There was one there, so I kind of went on, played with that, and worked my way around. So that was quite nice. I totally agree with Tim's point around the screen. They could have done a lot more with that. Even periodically putting the schedule of what was happening up on there, and it felt like there was gaps. A couple of hours where there wasn't much happening at the front, and other events I've been to, not necessarily just gaming ones, but broader events. They kind of go back to back. So I felt they could have done more there with that stuff. Personally, for me, 2 days was probably a bit too much. Probably could, it wasn't. There was a few things to see, but most of my time was spent with the chat, with the banter, meeting people. If I knew less people, I probably could have gone around in 2-3 hours, had a good time, and moved on. So perhaps one day. But then if it had been in one day, it would have been rammed. And that we did have it was busy, but it wasn't. You still had a fair bit of space to stroll around, so it was quite a nice vibe. So a bit torn on that one. And my final point: limited refreshments. I think there was just like one coffee thing in the corner. There was a couple of bits outside, but it was arguably a bit in the middle of nowhere as a centre. So there wasn't. Again, I think families were going there. They probably would have done their bit and gone home, as opposed to having much kind of retain and keep them around the showground. But that was my ramble. All in all, it was great fun. Great to meet you guys.
Awesome. Yes, indeed. And like Ray Chan says, utilize the big screen. Like we both already said so far, Tim and Ed, even remind people of the schedule. Yeah, indeed. That normally at like EGX and stuff like that, people get involved with the screen, like even like a live Twitch chat or a Twitter chat going on, just hashtagging and all that great stuff that people can see what's going on.
Is if you've been able to do your Guitar Hero stuff on the big screen.
Oh, now
because the Guitar Hero is a great idea, because everyone likes like actually just picking up a guitar and having a go, but it was hard to do with you're close to the stage and there's too much noise, so you couldn't really hear it very well. It would have been a lot better if you maybe had a scheduled time to do it, but start the Guitar Hero, pick a song, go up, and then put it on the main stage.
They did have a cameraman going around, didn't they? Yeah. So they could have perhaps streamed that. Someone could have gone around the arena, streaming it to the big screen. Would have, quick little snippets, chatting to, each of the people in the exhibition. That would have been quite nice. But it's a bit of a wasted, amazing bit of technology, because the screen was incredible.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Even just to use their speakers for Guitar Hero would have been good.
Yeah, just for a short period of the day, just to get it done to its full potential. Get the most out of that.
Indeed. So let's have a quick look here. Lovely to meet you, Ed. I love the mask lunchbox. Awesome. Some more chats coming in as well. Also, the food vendors closed early outside, and my friends were confused when things started shutting down around the Smash Brothers on Saturday and the quiz on Sunday. Yes, we noticed that as well. But Al, what did you think of our first experience together? And because we collaborate on videos together, and now it's live in person. So, what were your thoughts on the build-up to it, as in me and you working together for it, and then also when you actually got there and arrived, and how you thought it all went? So, your thoughts on the weekend.
So the build-up, I mean, it was, What I mean, when they first announced it, it felt like ages, and then it got delayed, if I remember rightly, and then eventually it happened. But because obviously I'd never done an event like that before, and obviously they reached out to you through Wave Game Studios, because Wave Game Studios said you need to get James involved. So, and that's how James got to be there, and how I got to be there. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was nice to be able to showcase the sort of stuff that I work on my YouTube channel as well. So like the homebrew scene, and obviously Tomb Raider 1, the port was there on the Dreamcast. Most people walked up to it and they were like, that is not on the Dreamcast. I was like, well, it's right there. And then literally people they didn't know it is a thing. And a lot of the time that's what I show on my channel is stuff that people have never seen before. So that was quite cool. But yeah, for me, I think the screen again was incredible. It was so good what they done with it. Yet it was so underutilized. That thing should have been doing something all day, be it a schedule or whatever. But they were streaming live on Twitch for hours. So why didn't they just have that on the screen? So that because obviously no one there could see it. So why didn't they have that up on the screen? I'm sure they will do it next time, because it seems like everyone in here and everyone that I've spoken to have all said the same thing. That screen was underutilized. Why did they not put streams and have schedules anywhere? Because no one knew, apart from looking at the website on their phone, what was coming up. So, and Wi-Fi Wars was way too late. For me, that was something I was excited about straight away. But then it turned out it was after the quiz, when we had already packed up, and everyone started packing up, because literally every single person was in the quiz. So vendors aren't going to stay around, are they, if everyone is rushed to go and do a quiz? So I think, unfortunately, that then emptied a lot of people out anyway. And then Wi-Fi Wars was on, but that was that on the same night as on the other night?
Yeah, no, the Wi-Fi Wars was after the quiz.
Oh, it was after the quiz.
I think they should have done the quiz maybe like really early or in the middle of the day, so people knew that something was following it. I think if you weren't involved in the quiz, you left. So that's kind of what we did. So
yeah,
I think that's why a lot of people left at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, for John's first event, we cannot say he didn't do a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He did really, really well. He was running around constantly, just trying to make sure everyone was cool. He was a good bloke.
There's a real variety there, wasn't there? Really, and everyone was offering different stuff at this stand. There's plenty to do. Like we've mentioned, it wasn't Rams. You could get around quite comfortably. There's always something free to play, so you wouldn't be like stood in a queue. I don't think I did any queuing the entire weekend. If I wanted to go on something, I'd just walk up and go on it.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good for that. And the VR thing they had in the corner, there was like a VR escape company that had some VR games. I don't know if you had a chance to go on that. But that was really cool, because I really like my VR stuff as well. And it's like the VR experience, but instead of moving around with analog sticks, you can just walk around the space because they mapped out a big area. So that was quite fun to have a go on as well.
Yeah. And we've, James, we've already started to change our lineup for next time, haven't we? We've already discussed this.
Well, before we talk about next time, let me talk about this time, Al. Come on.
Sorry, mate.
You've not heard my experience. Right,
okay.
Okay. So the build-up was basically, I'm just going to promote the hell out of what we have at our stand across every social platform I had. So people probably got bored of it. We went on to various other people's streams, like guest streams and stuff like that, just to say what we're going to have on. My Twitch and Twitter was filled with just advertisements of the posters and just showcasing the games that we're going to have there. I'll show you a video in a moment of our stand that we had. So that's going to be saved for another video that I'm going to upload on my channel, which is just the nice bits that I tend to do on my charity shop where I'm walking and all that sort of great stuff when I do my charity shop videos. But me as a person, as an exhibit person, I wish I would have had the VIP wristband, like me and Al was talking about it, because just getting the amount of coffees and things that we were drinking was just like, man, wouldn't it be good to have a VIP wristband? Because it seemed like a lot of other people had those. We was there for 2 days non-stop, just talking and promoting and playing games and setting games up, and whilst others had VIP wristbands, that they would have been a great addition to us, to not having to worry about leaving our stand and getting a coffee and getting some food. But that's one thing. That's a bad thing. But they can't give VIP things out to everyone, because we're not VIPs. We're just some blokes setting up computer games for people to play for free. I liked how it was, like I said, calm and collective. The expo was really good. The event was really good. You could just walk around, chat to people. There was celebrities walking around everywhere that you can talk to, and pretty awesome to see those in real life. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was good. It was a good event. It was a good experience. There's lots of learns. What's this? We've got a comment coming in here as well. I would happily brought you coffee. See, look, how nice is that? But it's just the reason why we packed away early on the Sunday was purely because we got a 3-hour journey home, and we're not really eating because we couldn't really leave our stand. I know you guys kindly were going to offer to sit by the stand for us, but it's like if somebody was going to play the Daytona tournament or somebody had some issues with the console, I wouldn't like you guys to be there and something to go wrong. But yeah, so we was a bit hungry, and we just thought, let's pack away, because everyone, like Waves Studios said this, everyone left. I looked around and every other stall and every other section was dead, and everyone moved over to the quiz area. And I felt kind of bad having like Guitar Hero, finally getting to hear Guitar Hero, and then I had to turn it down kind of because everyone was settled down and getting ready for the quiz. So the only time people got to hear Welcome to the Jungle, I had to then turn it down. So yeah, we packed away. We then took away 2 of the systems, so that if somebody was to see an N64 and play Smash Brothers, because that was really popular, Smash Brothers on our stand. But yeah, no one did, and was like, "Ow, come on, we gotta pack this up, man." There's no one here. The big selling point for our stand was the Daytona challenge. It ran across both days, 10 till 3. So at 3 o'clock, we turned the Dreamcast off for a little bit to have it a rest. But everyone was loving it. It was great to see families, people of all ages playing Daytona, kept trying to win those 2 trophies. And there's one in the background on Tim's screen there, as you can see. And Dorbs has been sharing it. And it's good that he's here in the live chat on his birthday today as well, taking the time out to be here in the chat. But yeah, the quiz pretty much killed our stand. But that's fine. That's what people queued up for. A lot of people may actually not have been there on the Saturday, may not have done anything else for the Sunday and just was there for the quiz. But, it's all good. Right, so I'm going to show you a quick video of, there you go, Guitar Hero. It's very good there. Played it live. So here's our stand. I'll quickly show you if it works. So let's see if I can do this. There you go, there's Ed. Let's see if we can get this to work.
Let's see if I get me on it as well. Yeah, we get the Oculus, is it?
So that's our stand. I'll link this a couple of times. There's out. So as you can see, quite nice setup there. Guitar Hero was there, and behind that was the limit stage, so you couldn't hear Guitar Hero. There's Half-Life on the Dreamcast being played there. It's quite popular. Was it out? Was it quite popular?
It was very popular, yeah.
So there's out again. But I thought it was quite an impressive setup that we had. The tables were done so when you get into there, it's kind of like how others said, like Tim and Ed, that it was more of a meeting point. You started and met there, and let's sort this out. Yeah, so you kind of just met there. That was your meeting point before you then decided to disperse somewhere else, which I liked. I liked the fact that people felt comfortable in our area, and no, I really enjoyed it. Lots of learns for us. We'll discuss this on another stream, but I want to thank everybody that visited us. Tim, thank you so much for helping us out set up on a Saturday. So many moving those kettle plugs around with those TVs and then finding extension leads.
No worries.
And stuff like that. Ed for being there the whole weekend with us, making sure we're all right and chatting to us and playing the games and just being there with us as well. It meant quite a lot to us, a real lot to us. And Al for putting up with me. Cheers, Ed. Al for putting up with me on that journey there and back, finding the world's worst.
Kill me now.
Oh, the world's worst KFC. I mean, I think something that we saw on the road could have tasted better than what we had in KFC, because there was an awful lot of roadkill that we saw. But yeah, no, really enjoyable. I'm going to save my thoughts really for when we're doing another stream and another video about the experience that we had, because the Retro Game Revival guys did such a great video yesterday. I'm just going to keep referring people there because it was really good on their experience, because they praised us quite a lot, which is really humbling to hear. You know, it's just something that I just do, and I like the fact that people enjoyed it. So that's enough of OLL 22. Thank you for taking part in Daytona. It was such a success. Sensible Soccer need a rematch with Ryan.
Yeah.
But
that was a great draw. It was a great thing that gets on bringing people back as well, because some people were just not satisfied with their time. They had to come back and try again.
Yeah,
So,
it was awesome.
yeah.
And I wish next time we've got some ideas in the pipeline for another one. If they do a 2
Any
point.
exclusives? You got any thoughts on what you do next time if you go back?
Police siren.
No. They're literally outside.
No, we can't. The siren's out there.
It's going to get louder. You watch. It will start flashing in a minute.
I beg your pardon. Oh, get him.
He's
there.
It's a fire engine anyway, so we're okay.
He's on fire. Oh, he looks like it.
Can we discuss anything? We will on James's next stream.
No, I tell you
but
what. Let's give the people that have decided to tune in this evening a little bit of an exclusive.
You go for it, mate. You go for it.
Okay, we're going to throw some ideas out there. We was going to have a projector screen showcasing some videos behind our stage area. So now we've got an idea of what that looks like behind the fire doors. That could happen next time. We could do something, or we could have, say, Donkey Kong, the old NES version of Donkey Kong, behind on the screen, so people can play that in the center area or somewhere different. You know, just it's going to be something good like Pac-Man on the big screen, or something that they should have utilized their big screen for, like an old school retro game on a massive screen that everybody can look and enjoy and watch. So that could be there. Essex Retro, Rob Essex Retro Gamer mentioned Sega Rally. Yeah, I mean, with that, is it going to be the Dreamcast version? Would it be Sega Rally 2? Would it be the Saturn version? Would it be a Model 2 arcade emulator that I had there with a PC steering wheel? Who knows? Or would I have two? I mean, I've been doing a lot of 2 monitors linked up together videos on my channel. Could that be a little secret of something that I'm planning for another event? Who knows? Speaking of Model 2 arcade emulators, I'm not going to say no more. Actually, just if you know the games,
you stop now, mate.
If you know the Model 2 arcade games, just scroll through some of them. Which ones I like, that could make an appearance at a future event. So yeah. Anyway, enough of OLL 22. We've got some plans already in the pipeline for some future events. Me and Al are going to be working closely together, planning the next one. If it's not in Norfolk, OLL 22 or 23. It will be somewhere else. We've got plenty of plans for it. But let's go back to Liam and John, who's kindly, patiently been waiting, hearing through all that, and just going to ask you now. So, Evercade-wise, what have you been playing on your Evercade? So your purple one, John, and your VS itself. What have you been playing, my friend?
So mostly been playing the Renovation Collection, the El Viento and the Valis games. On the VS, it's obviously been playing all those kind of secret games like Tapeworm. Been playing that. I've only been spending more time over the weekend, probably trying to finish Tapeworm. Originally got to level 60, but got stuck and get frustrated. But yeah, I'm going to give that a bash over the weekend. Most probably play more Renovation. I think there's actually a Facebook challenge. There's a score challenge, high score challenge on the Facebook fans group just now for California game, so most likely grudgingly probably have to have a go at that and try and get on the scoreboard a little bit. Probably not my most favourite game, but I suppose need to get a score up and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be good. I mean, it's quite a good game. It's not got all the events on it though, has it? The version that's on the
it's only got 4 events, but I'm pretty sure there's probably about 16 events in some of the other versions, or maybe more. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of the game at all. But I know like David Links Cader, he absolutely loves it. Don't know why, but he does.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Liam, my friend, what have you been playing or are playing at the moment on your Evercade VS or handheld?
It's mainly just Premier Manager, like I say, trying to get Doncaster out of Division 3. But it's going well. We started last year, we were in bottom 3, but we finished 9th. So I think I've got my tactics down. Just stay injury free, stay free of suspensions. We should be there by end of the season.
Is there any advantages of having 2 players on there? Can you kind of use the other manager to sell lots of their players and give you lots of money, and then Is there any way of doing that? Because I used to do that on multiplayer Soccer Manager. I used to like have loads of different managers, sell all my rubbish players, and get loads of money that way. Can you do that sort of thing in that Premier Manager? Or
I don't. To be honest, until you looked through the games earlier, I didn't realise it was 2-player. But I know I did it. I've done it a 2-player manager game before, and it was just incredibly boring. So like you have to wait whilst they're doing their tactics, play their game, then it goes on to you. You do your tactics, you do your game. It's just sort of like pass the controller. It's not really sort of co-op. It's sort of pass the controller sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's the same.
Makes sense. That makes no sense to have a 2-player game in that style. That's odd.
Yeah, I don't see how it'd work.
Wow. Well, I mean that's cool. I mean, like you say, fingers crossed you can get them out of that division, and like you say, John as well. Enjoy playing the renovations cart over the weekend, the Easter period. So we're going to now focus on what people are up to within their communities. So this is where you get time, and like I normally do at the end of these streams, just to say to people what's on your channel currently, so what videos you've dropped, or if it's a social platform or anything else, what you've been doing, and what you got coming up. So we're going to go over to you, Ed. So what has landed on your channel, and what's coming up on your channel and socials, please, my friend?
It's a nice
a mix of stuff. So I'm trying to do some. I'm doing some content around, Evercade Evolution, the magazine, just to kind of promote again some of the great efforts the guys are doing with that. I've kind of launched a bit of a part deux of my cheesy Let's Get Physical series, where I could kind of pick on a bit of a nostalgic piece of retro, be it like the Game Boy or Star Wars toys. The most recent one I've done is around Centurions, if you kind of remember them. So every couple of weeks, I'm releasing one of those, and I think imminently I'll be doing a bit of a mini pickups video, because I did pick up some items from OLL 22, so I'll be going through them. But yeah, mixed bag on my channel. There's a lot of handheld related stuff, so not just Evercade, but like 3DS. Getting really into my Game Boy carts at the moment. So yeah, a mix of silly things really on my channel. Nothing too serious at all.
Awesome, and it's always good to check out your channel as well, Ed. Loads of good stuff that goes on there, and yeah, and I've still got the badge that you gave us, a nice retro Ed badge. We've got those as well, haven't we, Al?
Yeah, they're awesome. To be fair, I didn't expect those to turn up.
Cheap merch keeps people happy.
Well, yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, John.
And I've got a question for you there, Ed. Did you watch and collect Visionaries?
Yeah, I think I've got a couple of figures. I think they're the ones with the holograms. There's like a lion one. I can't remember their blooming names. I've got just a couple, and I rescued one of them from my mum and dad's loft when they downsized last year. And I was rummaging around and found a few bits. They were hoarders. So one stage I may do a show and tell of my very small collection.
Because I've got loads of Visionaries up in my loft. I've got Visionaries, A-Team, Mask, Hasbro, Thundercats. God, bloody hell. All the Star Wars.
He-Man,
all the old.
Probably,
He-Man. Yeah, I've got the different size versions of a lot of the figures as well. So, yeah, loads of cool stuff. I was going to do like a box from the loft. There you go. There's a episode for you. You guys can have another one. Another idea, just throw away. You know what I'm like with my ideas.
Killer content.
That's
Thank
it.
you, James.
No problem. We're going to move on to Al now, my friend. So what have you got? I mean, Liminel, what hasn't he got coming up on his channel? So what you got coming up, mate?
Same as always. It's just
the usual stuff.
No, it's just more Dreamcast stuff, isn't it? The love of my life right here. No, it's clearly going to be more Dreamcast stuff. Been speaking to a couple developers, and I've got a video releasing Monday. A game called Driving Strikers. I know a couple people have seen the early version, which, to be fair, was not great. But I've got the newer version now. So it'll be a bit of like a world premiere type thing on Monday. So be interesting to see how that pans out. See if it's actually any better. It's like Rocket League on the Dreamcast, but from a slightly different perspective. So that should be interesting. I've also got another dev stream planning on a Dreamcast dev stream, with a couple people were at OLL 22. Funny enough, and yeah, so that should be cool. I won't say anything about that yet, but there is one coming. But yeah, it's just focusing on more homebrews and ports for the Dreamcast. It's the main thing that I love. Oh, And a OLL 22 pickups video as well. I've got a box of stuff behind me, so I'll be doing a little rundown of what I managed to pick up there as well. Because the prices, to be fair, for the stuff was fantastic. The traders there were so generous. So, yeah, got loads of decent pickups, including more Dreamcast stuff.
Awesome. Well, I've got a little bit of Driving Strikers to show actually on the stream.
Show it. I can hear it.
There it is. Right. So once again, this is our stand. Someone playing Aladdin on a modified Xbox. GoldenEye being played there. Is that GoldenEye? Yeah, GoldenEye being played there for once in that day. So there's Guitar Hero again. Right, so I'll pause it on Driving Strikers, so it's there. So that's what Driving Strikers is on the Dreamcast. It is a Rocket League style game, and this was a OLL exclusive demo that we was given, wasn't it, Al?
It was, yes, yeah. But like we said, unfortunately, it was pretty buggy. It took ages to load, and as you can see, the frame rate was pretty diabolical. But apparently, the update promises to fix a lot of that, as well as the steering, because that was one big issue it had, which you wouldn't expect with a game where you're driving a car. You'd expect the steering to work. But yeah, so like I said, I'll take a look at it and do a video for Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see who else we need to ask then. So, John, have I already asked you? I haven't. I can't remember. No, I haven't yet. No. So, John, what are you up to on your channel then, my friend? You've got to, like I say, I've put the details in the description of the secret videos that you featured. So, what have you got coming up on your channel? Been up to?
Probably going to be doing a little bit more on the A500 Mini, the Amiga sort of Mini thing that's been released. It's been really popular, so I'm going to be covering that a little bit more. I've got another Evercade video that I'm sort of working on, but I'm not going to say too much about it. But that's it, really. I've not really got a lot of plans. Oh, yeah, I bought a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus last week, and I've got a video I need to do probably over the weekend. But it takes a lot of time, so it's kind of, I need to wait till I've got time off work to be able to do it. But that's probably what's coming up in the next few videos.
Perfect. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Who I think it's just left with Liam and Tim. Is that correct? Liam, what have you got coming up in the pipeline, whether on any socials or your magazine or anything like that? What's happening in the world of you, Liam?
To be honest, it's playing the games really. So whilst we're doing this, that's literally any free time is on that rather than the actual games. It seems a bit daft sort of doing an Evercade magazine where I can go sort of a month or two without touching it, the Evercade, because I'm just doing the magazine. So it's more just playing the games at the minute. So like I had the Revolution and the Gremlins, but I've only just opened them in the last week or so whilst getting those played. But whilst you're on Ed's, did you see Ed's video? He did the song for the magazine.
I did. Yeah, very nice.
That's the best marketing we've ever had for the magazine.
Let's see if I can get that then. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh no, I think I cracked a few windows.
Yes.
Who's the best worst?
The best.
Okay, so whilst I'm finding that,
it was a bit of a dare, to be honest. I kind of started off with me daring Vaughan to do a song which he did over Christmas, and then he dared me back, unfortunately. And
cool. Let's see if I can find it. But what I'll do then, whilst I'm looking for that, Tim, if you want to tell us what the guys at the Retro Gaming Revival are going to be up to, and also if just tell us what you're up to as well.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few things in the pipeline already. So we've got 2 streams next week. So we've got on Wednesday, we've got a YouTuber called Tez coming on to talk about his YouTube channel and his Facebook group. He's got a Facebook group called YouTube Connect, which is lots of different YouTubers sort of sharing ideas and coming together. So he's trying to build a bit of community there. So we're going to have him on to talk about that, talk about his gaming background. And then we've got a bonus episode of Everchat on the Thursday, which Alistair Lowe is going to join. So we'll have a look. I'm not sure who's going to be on the panel for that just yet, but we know that we've got Alistair Lowe joining us on Thursday. We've got lots of other stuff on the channel at the moment. So Ollie's Nintendo Ollie's now doing mod cons, if you've seen that on the channel. So we also talk about modern games. That's generally with Ollie and a couple of the other guys from the panel. Just we've got a small group of us talking about modern games and what we're playing. we've got quite a lot of stuff going on in our Facebook group and trying to get a bit more on the Discord to do some games. So we've recently done a few games of Among Us with people in the community. I think Liam and John have joined us on some of those before, and that's always a good laugh. So it'd be nice to get the rest of you guys on with us that next time we organise it. I think Ryan normally organises the Among Us games, normally via our Facebook group, and then we stay in touch over Discord. So that's always a good bit of fun. And as for me, I am getting back into game making because I was got a lot of really nice feedback on my game Puck Puck, which I made many years ago, and decided to do a stream on it. And a lot of people have said they wanted to see more. So, like I said, Alistair Lowe suggested Game Boy Studio, and I've just picked that up and started playing around with it. So there might be a bit of a lag before you actually see any content from that, because I'm going to have to learn the platform and relearn how it all works, and probably just spend some time doing some tutorials. But at some point, hopefully, I'll make some games and then I can showcase them and possibly do some videos on them.
And I want to thank my guests for being with me this evening. I know it's been spliced into two. We've spoken about the Evercade, we spoke about the video game convention, which happened at the weekend, because it was awesome. But we'll share our other thoughts on it as well. Like if there is anything we're going to talk about, me and Al are going to do a separate video stream maybe later on. But yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Liam, Tim, Al, John, and Ed, thank you very much. If you want to wave to the camera to say goodbye to everybody, it's been awesome having you here. And thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody that's going to watch this video back. If you want to like it, great. If not, then that's fine, because they removed the dislike button now anyway, so nobody can see it. So it's all good. So you guys enjoy your Easter holiday. Thank you for staying with us. Check out the timestamps below when I put in about the Easter egg things if you want to check out for those. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's going to be a long one if you're off work. So thank you very much and take care of yourself. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
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 Bye bye. Bye bye.